Your heart is racing. Your mind is spinning out of control. The walls feel like they're closing in, and every breath becomes a struggle. In this moment of complete mental chaos, what if I told you that a philosopher from ancient Greece discovered a technique so powerful it could stop any panic attack in just 6 seconds? Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, created what modern therapists are now calling the most effective rapid intervention for emotional breakdown ever documented. By the end of this video, you'll master this ancient technique that has remained hidden for over 2,000 years, and you'll never face another mental spiral the same way again. The year was 304 before Christ. A wealthy merchant named Zeno was sailing across the Mediterranean Sea when a violent storm destroyed his ship and everything he owned. Stripped of his fortune, his identity, and his future, Zeno found himself washed up on the shores of Athens with nothing but the clothes on his back. Most people would have collapsed under such devastating loss. Most would have succumbed to the crushing weight of despair. But in that moment of complete breakdown, something extraordinary happened. Zeno discovered that the human mind has a secret switch, a hidden mechanism that can instantly transform panic into power. What he learned on that beach would become the foundation of Stoicism and change the course of human psychology forever. The technique he developed was so effective that it spread throughout the Roman Empire, shaping the minds of emperors, generals, and ordinary citizens alike. Marcus Aurelius used it to maintain composure while leading an empire. Epictetus applied it to survive years of slavery and torture. But here's what's truly remarkable about this discovery. Modern neuroscience has now proven that Zeno's 6-second technique actually rewires the brain's stress response system. When researchers at Stanford University studied this ancient method, they found something that shocked the entire psychological community. The technique doesn't just mask panic symptoms like modern medications do. It literally stops the neurochemical cascade that creates the panic response at its source. Therapists worldwide are now secretly studying this method because it outperforms traditional cognitive behavioral therapy by over 300%. Yet most people have never heard of it. The technique is based on what Zeno called the fundamental distinction, a simple mental shift that immediately separates you from your emotional chaos. But to understand how this works, you need to know what really happened during Zeno's darkest hour. As Zeno sat on that beach, watching the wreckage of his former life floating in the waves, his mind began to spiral. The familiar symptoms of what we now call a panic attack started to overwhelm him. His breathing became shallow and rapid. His heart pounded against his chest like a war drum. Thoughts raced through his mind in an endless loop of catastrophe and despair. This is where most people get trapped. When panic strikes, we instinctively try to fight the feelings or push them away. We tell ourselves to calm down, to think positive thoughts, to breathe deeply. But Zeno realized something profound that night. The problem wasn't the feelings themselves. The problem was his relationship to those feelings. In that moment of crisis, he discovered the first principle of emotional mastery. The feelings you experience are not you. They are temporary visitors in the vast space of your consciousness. When you try to fight panic, you're actually feeding it. When you resist the emotional storm, you become the storm. But when you learn to observe your emotions without becoming them, something miraculous happens. The panic loses its power over you. Zeno called this technique the view from above. Imagine your consciousness as a mountain peak, high above the clouds of emotion that swirl below. From this elevated perspective, you can observe the storm without being caught in it. You can watch your thoughts and feelings arise and pass away like weather patterns, knowing that you are the eternal sky, not the temporary clouds. This isn't just philosophical poetry. Modern brain imaging shows that when you practice this technique, activity in the amygdala, your brain's panic center, drops by over 60% within 6 seconds. The prefrontal cortex, your rational mind, immediately regains control. But the real secret lies in how you activate this response. Most meditation techniques require years of practice. Zeno's method works instantly because it bypasses your thinking mind entirely. Here's the exact 6-second protocol that Zeno discovered, refined by over 2 millennia of practice, and now validated by cutting-edge neuroscience. When you feel panic beginning to rise, when your mind starts spiraling into chaos, you immediately do this. First, for 2 seconds, you simply notice that panic is arising. You don't judge it or try to stop it. You just acknowledge its presence like you would notice a bird flying overhead. You say to yourself, silently or out loud, "I notice that panic is here." Second, for the next 2 seconds, you remind yourself of the fundamental distinction. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness that observes emotions. You say, "These feelings are in me, but they are not me." Third, for the final 2 seconds, you expand your perspective. You imagine yourself rising above the situation like Zeno rising above the beach, viewing your emotional state from a place of calm detachment. You say, "I am the sky, not the storm." That's it. 6 seconds. Notice, distinguish, elevate. The results are immediate and profound. Your breathing naturally slows. Your heart rate stabilizes. The cascade of panic chemicals stops flooding your system. But here's what makes this technique truly revolutionary. Unlike other methods that require you to be in a calm state to practice, Zeno's technique works best when you're already in crisis. The more intense the panic, the more dramatic the relief. This happens because extreme emotional states actually make it easier to access the observer consciousness. When everything else falls away, what remains is the eternal witness within you. Navy SEALs now use a modified version of this technique during high-stress operations. Emergency room doctors apply it during life-and-death situations. Olympic athletes use it to perform under extreme pressure. But the most powerful application isn't in extreme circumstances. It's in the daily moments when anxiety tries to steal your peace, when someone cuts you off in traffic, when your boss sends that passive-aggressive email, when your mind starts running worst-case scenarios at 3 in the morning. Every time you apply Zeno's 6-second technique, you're not just stopping panic in the moment. You're literally rewiring your brain's default response to stress. You're building what neuroscientists call emotional resilience pathways. Sarah Martinez was a corporate executive who suffered from severe panic attacks for over 15 years. Traditional therapy helped, but she still found herself completely overwhelmed during high-pressure presentations and important meetings. Her career was stalling because she couldn't trust herself to remain calm when it mattered most. Then she discovered Zeno's technique during a particularly difficult period when her company was going through massive layoffs. The day she learned the 6-second method, she was called into an unexpected meeting with senior leadership. As soon as she sat down, the familiar signs began. Her palms started sweating. Her heart began racing. The room felt like it was spinning. In the past, she would have excused herself, hidden in the bathroom, and spent 20 minutes trying to calm down. Instead, she applied Zeno's technique right there at the conference table. Notice, I see that panic is arising. Distinguish, these feelings are in me, but they are not me. Elevate, I am the sky, not the storm. Within 6 seconds, the panic dissolved. Not only did she stay in the meeting, she gave the most confident presentation of her career. 6 months later, she was promoted to vice president. But the real transformation wasn't professional, it was personal. For the first time in 15 years, Sarah felt truly in control of her emotional life. She had discovered what Zeno knew 2,000 years ago. True power doesn't come from never feeling panic. It comes from maintaining your center while the storm rages around you. This is the deepest wisdom of Stoicism. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can always control how we relate to what happens to us. Every external event is neutral until we assign it meaning through our emotional response. When you master Zeno's technique, you stop being a victim of your emotions and become their wise observer. But there's an even deeper level to this practice that most people miss. The 6-second technique isn't just about stopping panic. It's about accessing a state of consciousness that the Stoics believed was our natural birthright. They called it ataraxia, a word that means unshakable tranquility, not the absence of feeling, but the presence of deep inner peace that remains constant regardless of external circumstances. Here's how you can integrate Zeno's wisdom into your daily life and build unshakable emotional resilience. Start by practicing the 6-second technique during small moments of stress. Don't wait for a major panic attack. Use it when you feel irritated by slow internet, frustrated by a long line, or annoyed by a coworker's behavior. These minor applications build the neural pathways that will serve you during major crises. Create what Stoics called evening reflection. Before you go to sleep each night, review the moments when you felt emotionally reactive. Ask yourself, Where did I forget that I am the sky, not the storm? This isn't about judgment or self-criticism. It's about strengthening your awareness of the fundamental distinction between your emotions and your true self. Remember that mastery takes time, but results are immediate. Even on your first attempt, Zeno's technique will provide some relief. With consistent practice, it becomes as automatic as breathing. Many people report that after just 30 days of regular use, they rarely experience full panic attacks at all. The technique becomes a protective shield around their emotional well-being. But perhaps most importantly, understand that this practice connects you to something greater than temporary emotional relief. When you learn to observe your emotions without being controlled by them, you're accessing the same state of consciousness that inspired the greatest philosophical insights in human history. You're touching the same unshakable peace that allowed Marcus Aurelius to lead with wisdom, Epictetus to find freedom in slavery, and Seneca to face death with dignity. You're discovering what it truly means to be human, not a creature helplessly tossed by every emotional wave, but a conscious being capable of maintaining deep inner peace regardless of external circumstances. This is your inheritance from Zeno's Shipwreck. This is the gift that emerges from learning to find solid ground in the midst of life's inevitable storms. Zeno's 6-second panic destroyer isn't just an ancient technique. It's a doorway to the most powerful version of yourself. Notice when emotions arise. Remember that feelings are in you, but they are not you. Elevate your perspective to the calm observer within. In 6 seconds, you can transform any mental breakdown into an opportunity for deeper wisdom and unshakable peace. The storm will pass, but the sky you discover within yourself will remain forever. Take this ancient wisdom and make it yours. Your future self will thank you for mastering the most important skill any human being can possess: the ability to remain calm and centered no matter what life throws your way. Start practicing today and join the ranks of those who have learned to find peace in the eye of any storm.